Welcome back, my dear students. In Prep 2, we have studied 7 parts of factorization. Today we want to learn how to solve quadratic equation in one variable. Quadratic equations mean the equation from the second degree, and we have only one variable. We have steps. If you want to solve a quadratic equation in one variable, at first you should be sure that the right hand side equals to 0. Then you will arrange according to the power of this variable, extract the highest common factor, factorize, and finally solve the two first order equations. Let's take an example. Here, for example, we have 2x power 2 minus 5x minus 3 equals 0. We studied before how to factorize this trinomial. Here we have the right hand side equals to 0. The left hand side is trinomial. We studied in part 2 how to factorize this trinomial. This trinomial will be factorized as 2x plus 1 times x minus 3, two factors. So 2x plus 1 times x minus 3 equals 0. Now I have two first order equations. The first one is 2x plus 1 equals 0. The second one is x minus 3 equals 0. I'll solve both of them. The first one, 2x plus 1 equals 0, it means that x equals negative 1 over 2. Here x minus 3 equals 0, it means that x equals 3. So here 2x plus 1 equals 0. I'll move positive x to the right hand side with a different sign, so it will be 2x equals negative 1. Then I'll divide by 2 both sides to get that x equals negative 1 over 2. This is the first solution. The second one, x minus 3 equals 0, it means that x equals, I'll move negative 3 to the right hand side with an opposite sign, so it will be 3. Now I have two solutions. The first one is negative 1 over 2. The second one is x equals 3. So the solution will be negative 1 over 2 and 3. Both can satisfy this equation. If you want to be sure, or if you want to check your answer, you will write here instead of x one of the two solutions. In the first time we can check using negative 1 over 2. I'll put negative 1 over 2 instead of each x in this equation. The result will be 0. Also you can check 3. You will substitute each x by 3, so this one will be 9, and here it will be 5 times x. X here is 3. Okay, so it will be 2 times 9, which is 18, minus here we have 5 times 3 is 15, so 18 minus 15 equals 3. 3 minus 3 equals 0. So this is how to check your answer if it's true or not. Okay, let's take another exercise. Here, for example, we have 2x power 3 equals 18x. Okay, the right hand side is not 0, so I should move 18x to the left hand side by opposite, yes, with opposite side. So here I have 2x plus 3, 2x power 3 minus 18x equals 0. It's arranged, but we have a highest common factor here. We can take 2x because 2 and 18 are even numbers. X here we have x power 3 and x, so I'll take the lower power, so 2x is a common factor. 2x times x power 2 minus 9 equals 0. So 2x times x power 2 minus 9 equals 0. I have here x power 2 minus 9. X power 2 is a perfect square. 9 is a perfect square. So we can factorize this binomial as summation times difference. This is the difference between two squares. We studied how to factorize the difference between two squares. You can revise the factorization, factorizing the difference between two squares. It will be the summation times difference. I'll take the root, so it will be x plus 3 times x minus 3. Now we have 3 factors. Each one is an equation. 2x equals 0, or x plus 3 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, if 2x equals 0, it means that x equals 0. If x plus 3 equals 0, it means that x equals negative 3. I'll move positive 3 to the right hand side with a different sign. If x minus 3 equals 0, it means that x equals 3. Now we have 3 solutions, 0, negative 3, and 3. So the set of solution is negative 3, 0, and 3. Okay, So to solve any quadratic equation in one variable, at first be sure that the right hand side equals to 0. Then arrange, if there is a highest common factor, extract the highest common factor, then factorize. Finally, you have equations, a first order equation. Solve each one separately and take the solution. Here we have a word problem. You want to solve this word problem using equations. Okay, let's begin. Find the real number. I want to find the real number, so the unknown here is this real number. I'll name it as x. Whose double? What do you mean by double x? Double x, it means 2 times x, so 2x. Okay, increases by 1, then its multiplicative inverse, so 2x equals 1 over x. This is the multiplicative inverse. Increases by 1, so plus 1. So this is our equation now. 2x equals 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so let's try to solve this equation to know the numbers. Okay, so here we have the real number. I'll let this real number be x. The double of this number, it means 2x, increases by 1, then its multiplicative inverse, it means 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so the equation will be 2x equals 1 over x plus 1. Okay, now I have x here in the denominator. I don't want x in the denominator, so I multiply both sides by x. If you multiply by x both sides, here we have 2x, it will be 2x power 2. 1 over x times x, it will be 1. 1 times x equals x, so we have 2x power 2 equals 1 plus x. Now I want to solve this equation. Step number 1, check that the right hand side equals to 0, so I'll move 1 and positive x to the left hand side with different sign. Now I have 2x power 2 minus x minus 1 equals 0. Now I can factorize this trinomial. You can revise part 2 of factorization to remember how to factorize this trinomial. The factorization of this trinomial is 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. 2x plus 1 times x minus 1. I'll solve each one separately. 2x plus 1 equals 0. It means that x equals negative 1 over 2. Negative 1, then divide by 2. Here x minus 1 equals 0. It means that x equals 1. So the set of solution here, it will be negative 1 over 2 and positive 1. Okay, so x can be negative 1 over 2 or x can be 1. Okay, you can be sure that if you substitute by 1 or by negative 1 over 2 here in this equation, the left hand side will be equal to the right hand side. Okay, let's try to substitute by 1. Okay, the left hand side will be 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, 2 times 1 equals 2. Okay, what about the right hand side? So the left hand side will be 2. The right hand side, 1 over x, it means 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So the left hand side equals to the right hand side. Okay, you can check by using negative 1 over 2 by the same way. Okay, today we studied how to solve a quadratic equation in one variable. I hope you have understand our session. Try to solve more. Next session we will talk about non-negative and negative integer powers in the real number. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you next session. Goodbye.